Hey everyone, I decided to kind of put out a quick tutorial video on kind of how I optimize Dxtory to record high quality footage for YouTube videos. And everything I talk about in the video today will be on this web page, which I have made as kind of a resource for people looking to quickly figure out how to optimize Dxtory. And the layout is basically this first area here has the screenshot of my final settings with kind of a summary. And then below that is the detailed breakdown with more of a step-by-step view. So if you want to kind of skip the video and just look at these screenshots, you can basically get the same amount of information out of the video that I'm about to do. So with that said, I'm going to move over to Dxtory and go through my settings. I use these standard default settings for the overlay, which is just basically the frame rate counter in the top left corner that's green. When I start recording, it will show the frame rate as well as the write file FPS in yellow, or below these numbers actually. So this is pretty standard. I mean, you can customize this to your liking. For storage, I use a 1 terabyte hard drive to save my footage, and it's pretty much just dedicated to saving footage. I would use the C drive because of the high write speed, except this is a solid state, so it doesn't have a lot of free space, and I play my games from here. So generally you don't want to save footage in the same area that you're launching a game from because it slows the hard drive down. Standard, hotkey setup. I only use the start and stop movie capture. I don't use anything else. I guess this is the most important tab. This is actually fairly standard as well. A lot of YouTubers use this. I use the Lagarith lossless codec, and I'm able to get between 70 and 90 FPS in Battlefield 3 on high to ultra settings, which is fairly good. I don't get a lot of spikes or anything. It's very consistent. In terms of the mode, I use YV12. I actually originally used, I think, RGBA, but I was getting maybe 60 FPS with that. So I switched over to YV12, and the quality was amazing, and I was getting really great FPS in-game. I'm also using multi-threading. Not sure how necessary this is. I've been testing this on and off, and I don't see too much of a difference, to be honest. But I've been told that it is good to have that on. In terms of frame rate, if I'm just playing for fun and I'm not going for like a short video, I record at 30 FPS. If you wanted to do like a very short machinima video with cinematics and stuff, you should probably do 60. But honestly, 30 is probably sufficient enough. My file output is the AVI format. I don't know why anyone would use RAWCAP, because it's kind of a pain to actually get the output file, because you have to use the AVI fix to get it to work. I'm not really sure why you would use this, but I guess that's a topic for another time. I also record my mouse cursor. I've heard that it makes some people lag, but I have no issue with it. I figured it's better than, making me appear like a wizard where I'm selecting stuff in game and you're not really sure what's going on. In terms of scaling, I normally run at 100% so that my output file is what I'm playing at in terms of resolution. But if I'm going for a longer gameplay and I want to conserve hard drive space, I will scale it down to 1280 by 720. But currently I keep this at 100%. I think one of the most unique things about Dxtory is that you can separate your audio devices on different audio channels, so that when I drop this into an editing program like Sony Vegas, I would have 4 different audio channels for my different audio devices. The first audio device I'm using is my speakers, and that is literally all the sound coming out of my machine. So my TeamSpeak, my game volume, maybe I'm playing music in the background. All of that is on this one audio channel, not separated or anything. And the next thing is my microphone. I've set the volume to 100 because I can simply just adjust the volume later in an editing program. I'm also using the standard default audio codec and audio format settings. What I've done is I've used an audio repeater to separate my TeamSpeak or Skype volume, or I guess audio channels, from my game volume. And this allows me to basically, when I drop this into Vegas, I could completely remove like TeamSpeak or Skype sounds from the video, and I could just have it so that only my game volume is left. And this is very useful. I've actually done a tutorial on this also on an article on the website, and I will provide that link also. But this is very nice because sometimes you want to make a video without people talking in the background, and you can simply just delete that audio without removing your game sound. So that is pretty much it. I guess there's the advanced tab. I don't really use anything here except for processing threads, which I set to the max. This I haven't really seen too much of a difference with. I know that if you have bottlenecking issues, this panel is very helpful because you can force the CPU to do more work if your graphics card sucks or it's not up to par. So this panel is more kind of based on your unique setup. So I'm not really going to go into this much because I don't really use it. But anyway, that is pretty much the tutorial, or not really a tutorial, that's just kind of my settings. Hopefully the website is useful and you guys get something out of this. And I will see you guys next time.